Am I the asshole for turning around my coworker's photo of her dead baby so I can't see it while I'm working? Hi, everyone. I work in retail in a very small department of my store that's run by me and one other coworker, who I will call Alice. About 10 years ago, Alice had a stillborn baby and, to date, as far as I know, has had no other children or pregnancies since. Alice keeps a large photo of the baby on the work desk that we both share. Alice and I, on average, will only work together about 5 days a month, while the rest of the time we each run the department by ourselves while the other has the day off. On the days that Alice is working and I am not, I've been turning the photo around so I can't see it simply because I find the photo difficult to look at. According to Alice, her baby was born at 20 weeks and, according to the doctors, had died inside her a few days before she actually gave birth. So you can see in the photo the baby was not only premature but was also in an obvious state of decomposition, which honestly makes it a morbid and nauseating sight. What makes it even harder for me is that I myself was actually born premature at only 26 weeks. I thankfully survived, but I suffered brain damage because my lungs were not developed enough to adequately supply oxygen to my brain, and I had a stroke and ended up with cerebral palsy and some hearing loss as a result. Doctors have told me if I were ever to become pregnant that because of my cerebral palsy, I might have trouble carrying a baby to term and may have to deliver my own baby prematurely. This makes it hard for me to decide if I ever want to have my own children because I don't want to risk putting my children through the same ordeal that I went through and was lucky to survive. The baby in the photo in a lot of ways looks the same way I did when I was born and sometimes makes me feel guilty for surviving. It is also a constant reminder to me of what can go wrong during a woman's pregnancy. So over the past 2 years of working with Alice in that department, I've gotten the habit of simply turning the photo around backwards at the start of my shift, so I can't see it while I'm working on days that Alice is not there. When my shift is over, I will turn the photo back around and leave shortly after. I thought this would be an easier solution than asking Alice to remove the photo, since in our past and even recent conversations, the baby is still a huge loss for her and she is still grieving. That was until last week. I came into work on a day that Alice and I were scheduled to work together, and apparently I had forgotten to turn the baby's photo back around before I left the night before. Alice confronted me asking me why her baby's photo was turned around, and that apparently this wasn't the first time I had forgotten to turn the photo back around, and she had found it backwards. I decided to be honest and tell her that the photo was hard for me to see due to my own premature birth and the fact that I would be considered to have high-risk pregnancies. I did not tell her that I found the photo to be morbid. Alice immediately broke down in tears and said that having the photo was very important to her because it's the only memory that she had of her son, and it ensures that he was always with her. I felt horrible and apologized and promised not to touch the photo anymore. Then a few days later, I came in to find Alice having a heated discussion with our boss. Apparently, a few of the other employees had overheard Alice's and I's discussion about why I didn't like the photo, and afterward had gone to our head manager and had disclosed to them that they also did not like having to see the photo of Alice's dead baby on a daily basis, and that many of them had found it grotesque and disturbing. Our boss then told Alice that it would probably be best for everyone that she kept the photo at home instead of having it on display at a public workplace. This, of course, sent Alice into a tailspin, and now she blames me for the fact that she now can't have her baby with her at work. I personally never spoke to our boss about the photo or the discussion we had. I have conflicted feelings because on one hand, I am relieved to not have to look at that photo anymore, and I now know a lot of my other coworkers feel the same way. But on the other hand, our job does not provide health insurance, which means Alice cannot afford to go to therapy or see a psychiatrist, so she can't get the proper help/treatment, and I am worried for her, but I also can't help but feel like an asshole for making her so upset. So, am I the asshole?